Yeah. What you think like that?
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the tea prepared for you. I'm Lily Yu, the organizer for today's event. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. This telling Nyonya Baba's story, kind of a dialogue. I started this series of Ramadan events because I have many stories to tell. I used to write my family stories on my computer for my grandchildren. But in early 2000, I realized that if I don't write them down, there may not be opportunities to tell them how much life had changed since I was a little girl. I'm a baby boomer, and they are the millennials. So if family stories I heard from my grandparents and parents are not told, they will be lost forever, as oral history was never recorded. These stories tell of our early ancestors' struggle to survive here, how many found fame and fortune, and helped build this nation we now call home. But they never forgot their Chinese values of filial piety and philanthropy. Basically, the importance of family. When we talk about filial piety, it's just the importance of family and what we now know as sharing and paying forward. Philanthropy, I put it as sharing and paying forward. These are typically Chinese values. This Tea with Lily series started last year with dressing the Nyonya, followed by the Nyonya and her jewelry. Some of you came for these talks. The Nyonya jewelry talk I had to repeat a few times because it was oversubscribed. And then I had a dialogue being Nyonya last July. I'm planning for another one. Okay, maybe you like to keep this date, January 25th. For Emily, it's actually based on the actress Pelitua, who's here today. She will give a talk of her encounter with Emily of Emerald Hill. Her 35 years acting as Emily. So she will be here with her director, Chin San-sui, to talk about that. Okay, I feel a need to tell stories, to celebrate our ancestors, their history, to learn the past, and to know our roots. There are traditions, wisdom, and also myths in our culture. The present generation must be made aware of the differences. Why our ancestors practice certain traditions, how we celebrate events, how we understand to understand our customs and also taboos. It is the lifestyle of our ancestors and how our heritage culture evolved with time. We have also inherited a very rich material culture, our eclectic architecture, ornate furniture, colorful porcelain, unique jewelry, beautiful attires, and even our tantalizing cuisine. There are many stories to tell about them. How many know that Nonyas used to wash and dry their jewelry at noon on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month? If you had attended my talk, the jewelry talk, you would have heard that. This is what Nonyas used to do. And also the wisdom behind cooking pengat. There's something like bubur caca, pengat, for Cap Gomeh. And why some speak Penang, Hokkien, while others speak Baba Malay. And also why both my English-educated grandfathers use cutlery. But the Nyonya wives enjoyed their sambal kacang and ulams best without cutlery, but with their fingers. Finger licking goodness, right? So it's not everybody who use their fingers. You know, grandfathers, very English educated, Anglophile, they use fork and spoon. Okay? And of course, we use noodles for chopsticks. Don't let people tell you, oh, Nonyas only use fingers. How are you going to eat your noodles with your fingers? There's also a story why we distribute angku during baby's morning. How many are aware of the unique arranged marriage tradition called Chinjui? It's a local marriage system among the early Chinese, Penang Straits Chinese. You've never heard of that, right? Where the groom actually goes to the bride, to the bride's side, not the other way around. It's matrilocal. While our ancestors were once called Queen's Chinese and then King's Chinese. Are you all aware of that? So we have lots of stories. So I'm actually working on a book now about the Peranakan garden. A concept actually alien to most as it hardly exists now. That's my story and hopefully my legacy. About the Nyonya Baba stories this afternoon. We have these on my left. He's a renowned author of several books, including 4 bestsellers, Malaysian Flavors. You can see some of the books here. Insight into Things Malaysian, Manglish, we know that very well. Malaysian English at its brightest. The award-winning Kebaya Tales, and her latest bestseller, Sarong Secrets, from her Peranakan trilogy of short stories. Sukim is also the founding president of the Peranakan Association of Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. Then we have Julie Wong, a food writer. She's a food writer, a food stylist. You need something to look pretty, that's her. A restaurant critic, make sure your restaurant is up to par. She's editor and co-author of several books, including 2 Peranakan cookbooks, Nyonya Flavors. That's the best Penang Nyonya recipe book that I know, and was reprinted 6 times, and was the best non-fiction book on Kino's list for several years. More recently, the Malacca Chitty Kitchen Journey of 500 Years won a Gourmet World Cookbook Award. So if you are a foodie, you may remember her as the editor of Flavors, a top Malaysian food magazine in its time. Julie is also editor of my Peranakan garden book, Akan Datang Lah. Then we have Pepper Lim. He has written a few books of different genre and has won awards for Baba Nyonya short stories too. Incidentally, Pepper is my nephew. Okay. And a double Malaysia Book of Records holder. Now that's a real Baba story to be told. So as not to break the momentum, I'll begin by asking Dr. Lee a few questions and then allow her to address them in her own way. Dr. Lee?